Nick, take yourself back to when you sent me that LinkedIn message all those many months ago. There must have been a trigger point for you to go and need some help here. So how were you feeling personally? How were you feeling about your business for you to decide you needed some help?
I'd reached a certain point of the business that I was comfortable with, but through the extensive growth period that we went through, literally our ARR went from short of £1 million to £4 million over 12 months, and it was no longer Nick Bowen, who was a doer, who would get his hands dirty on the ground. I would, in terms of my line of work, go open schools, go and change bins, and I couldn't do that anymore because the business was growing exponentially, and even my own skill sets, I was worried with. It was keeping me awake at night in terms of, am I doing things right? And certainly when I was looking for a business mentor such as yourself, that's what I was looking at. I was looking for that experience, that skill set, that knowledge, that book, which would not only make my business better, but ultimately make me a better managing director.
And lots of business owners get to that point where they need to be a better person, they need to be better business-wise, and they're seeking help. There's many options out there, but why, what was the research you went through, and why did you finish up kind of knocking on my door?
So I followed 3 business mentors for about a period of 2 to 3 months in terms of not only your LinkedIn page, in terms of what you're posting, your content and the reasons why you was doing it, particularly like the trueness of you more than anything, your videos from your car, that rawness, and equally from yourself, is that if I'm putting myself in your position, you certainly reminded me of what I wanted to look like in the future in terms of the way that you delivered your messages, the complete honesty in the way that you did that.
Thank you.
Yeah.
And we've really only been business mentoring, haven't we? So you've got the plan, and that's absolutely fine. So this was about you needing a sounding board, needing somebody just to guide you, to support you. So this has really just been a frequent check-in to discuss some of those challenges and frustrations and opportunities you had.
Yeah, absolutely. And again, goes back to the point I made earlier, that you've been a perfect soundboard, a perfect friend, a perfect business mentor for me, because it was all about making the right decisions for me, and equally me going away, passing them by someone to say, is that the right thing? Certainly one thing that stuck in my head was we met in our offices, and you always say, know your numbers, and I remember showing you that Excel, and even the look on your face, you was like, wow, the detail in that. So I knew straight away from looking at you and what you said back that I was certainly on the right path, which now we've extended and gone even further with that.
And sometimes it's about validation, isn't it? For me as a business mentor, I often find that people say, well, you've not told me anything I don't know. Sometimes it's about validation. Sometimes it's, I'm on the right track, I'm doing the right thing. Other times it is, I need a little bit of guidance and I need a bit of support.
Yeah, like for me as a person, being a managing director and owner for still a short amount of time, my business is not even 3 years old yet. And like I said, we've gone from 0 turnover to touching 6 million each year now. We've gone from 3 staff to 300 staff. Yeah. And like I said, with that amount of growth, it was ensuring that we were doing the right thing, because I can certainly see if I didn't have your help or I didn't validate what we were doing, that if I went down the wrong path, it would have been really difficult for me to come back with that size of business.
So it's tough when you've got that level of trajectory. If you just get off course 1 or 2%, the implications are potentially devastating.
Yeah.
So obviously, you're on a high growth curve anyway. But what would you say has been the benefit of working with me? What have you achieved that you wouldn't have done without us working together over the last year?
I think an example of this is probably confidence. Not that I'm not confident in the way that I am, but equally I attended your VIP masterclass, for example, and to be in a room full of similar people to myself and testing myself at all given times, that I'm sat on a table with 10 people listening to their stories, tribulations, problems, successes, and then certainly feeding them back into myself of my own. It actually showed me when I was there to say, yeah, I am doing a really good job. Yes, I am being a really good person, and ultimately, not only can I learn from them, but equally they can learn from me.
So it's a lot about confidence and mindset and focus that then give you the ability to go out and deliver that kind of master plan, isn't it?
Yeah, absolutely, and that's it is for me. I grow on confidence, so like I said, if I know I'm doing a good job, then equally the business will get better and better.
Given those results you've delivered and the work we've done together over the last few months, how do you feel now compared to how you felt when you first sent that LinkedIn message all those many moons ago?
Yeah, I think when I first sent you that message, and droning is probably not the right word, but equally I was under pressure. You know, I was working long hours, and certainly from the work that we've done now, I've built a really successful team around me. You know, even coming today would have been a stretch 12 months ago. You know, and equally I can sit here, speak to you, come for dinner. You know, knowing full well that the opportunity that you gave me and the knowledge that you gave me to build my team has given me the time to free myself up in terms of spending more time with my family, spending more time travelling, in terms of what I do, starting the gym next week, which 2 years ago I never would have thought I would have had the time for, and the plan that we've put in place has brought that to fruition.
Yeah, and you've literally just shared a story with us before we came on air about you're going to spend most of the next 2 weeks travelling with, whether it be football or family, and you'd have struggled to do that consistently 2 years ago, wouldn't you?
Yeah, absolutely impossible. Yeah, like I said, it was 7 days a week, 15-hour days, you know, but like I said, from now, the team underneath me, which you've had a large part to play in terms of that plan of getting those people in, has certainly freed me up to not only enjoy my free time, but equally focus on the business rather than in the business. And certainly I've seen the benefit of that alongside my colleagues as well, who have me in a more stable mindset.
Which is what the team want, right?
Yeah,
so if you're in a
absolutely.
stable mindset, they've got the focus they need. So, Nick, it's a tough decision, isn't it? You know, as a proud man, as you are, as many of us are, you know, just asking for help, acknowledging that not everything is within our control. What would you say to anybody that's in that high growth mode, that's thinking about getting a business mentor? What would you think about anybody that's kind of questioning whether Gary King's the right choice?
I think to answer the first part of that question first is that not to be too cliche, but every day is a learning day. There's always someone who does something better than you. You know, certainly as I went through my football career as from being a young lad, I always took the best part of every coach, and certainly the way that I manage my teams now, I certainly think of a lot of those memories and past experiences that I've got and taking the best of their skills and moulding it into my own personality. I think from why Gary King, you know, from that perspective, it's the trueness, it's the honesty, it's the knowing that you're on the other end of a phone telling me exactly what I want to hear. You know, it's the accountability of holding me to a decision, you know, and the pressure to say, have you done that? And I certainly remember the first time you sent me a job list and I come back to you in 2 days and said, all 3 points are done. And you was like, well, that was quick, you know. But like I said, certainly someone who's in a high growth period, it's about actioning those points, not sitting on them. And if we go back to an earlier question, making sure that you are on that right path, because if you run with things and get things slightly wrong, certainly at the size that we were growing, it would have been catastrophic. So yeah, making sure that was right was good.
Nick, it's been a pleasure working with you over the last few months. All the best for your next steps.
Yeah, thank you.
Thank you.